I didn't. The business got into me. Perhaps this is most applicable in my case. I'm a college dropout whilst doing my mechanical engineering. I've had no formal education in art, architecture, or design. I'm not a qualified architect. At the beginning of my career, I spent 3 years with the Italians. We used to import furniture from them. Learning with the design studios, whatever I knew initially in design. That was perhaps the foundation for my design career. There's a common thread that runs through all our projects. If it passes through that benchmark, we approve the design, or else we go back to the drawing board. Whatever we create or design should improve the lives of the people, be it the townships, be it the people occupying the buildings, be it the people who are working in the offices. We try and make each project unique. In this township, which is forming majority part of our design practice, we are working on mass housing. In India, mass housing looks very beautiful when it's in the catalog. The minute it actually translates into reality, this is middle income group segment housing. Design is kind of given the least priority because the builder has already landed up selling what he had to sell. We focus on improving lives of families that are going to occupy these houses. I'm going to share just 5 or 6 of the projects which are truly different and unique. I've shared the same question with everybody who joins our organization, and our design studio practice feels the same. This building we are doing in Bombay is just facade architecture, where we have gotten the New York Metropolitan Railway Station, the Grand Central Station as a point of reference, and we are putting it on a commercial building in Bombay. The next project is about corporate interiors. Again, in corporate interiors, we specialize in understanding brand aspirations and matching the brand aspirations with our designs to make sure the clients get what they want, rather than just focusing on aesthetics, space planning. These are very, very important. Ergonomics, sustainability, all these are, needless to say, need to be there. But matching the client's brand aspirations, in this case, it is a A380 aircraft, 1:10 scale, that we specially commissioned, ordered, and made sure we hang it on the ceiling, or picking up some liquor brands and putting it across on a chandelier. Even with the smallest of businesses, especially the SMEs, I personally get involved because it's very, very important. Your space should actually translate into who you are and should speak volumes about your business. It's one of the oldest yachts still on water. It's more than 100 years old. Edwardian style of design. When this boat, we were commissioned on this project, we had to refurbish this boat on Edwardian style of design, and we had to go back to the library and understand and teach ourselves everything that we knew about Edwardian style of design. And on this one, we had to get into marine architecture because we actually landed up increasing a floor on this yacht. A project which is very, very close to my heart, vulture conservation. The land that you see over here, yes, this is Bombay. It's in the heart of Bombay. It's a breathing lung of Bombay. It's at Kemp's Corner. It's a 55-acre piece of land with IUCN, Bombay Natural History Society, Bombay Parsi Panchayat. We are designing India's largest aviary. This land is the Dungarwari land, which is extremely pious to the Parsi Irani Zoroastrian community. This is where they use the land for disposal of the dead. And hence, vulture conservation is something that serves a twofold purpose for me. We get the vultures back to the documentation system, which is one of the most sustainable systems ever known to mankind for the disposal of the dead. These two men have had a profound impact on my life. And whatever we do today is a lot to this one statement. At a very early stage in business, I realized what J.R.D. Tata said is so very true. I've slightly modified the statement to suit my own needs. No success or achievement in material terms is worthwhile unless it serves the needs of the community, the city, the country, and its people, and is achieved by fair and honest means. Having said that, I've tried to put it into practice. In the area where I live, we have an Agyari, a fire temple. It was coming up for the 75th year celebrations, and we had to restore it. So I took up the challenge of restoration, and to my good luck, we won the Urban Heritage Award given by the Indian Heritage Society for this particular restoration that we did. That was my first brushing with restoration projects. But whilst doing the research for this temple, opened up a Pandora's box which changed my life. I started studying structures in India on Zoroastrian and Persian architecture. However, through the centuries, something has been left out. We've never ever got the glorious Persian architecture into India. My quest for research lended me to Persia, ancient Iran, Persepolis, Pasargadae, Susa. And the more I researched, the more I realized what they had created 2,500 years back was simply mind-boggling. We're talking of architecture and buildings today. This is ancient Iran, 2,500 years back. The 100-column hall had each column 20 meters high. These columns have stood the test of time. After Alexander burnt it and ruined it and broke it and looted it, some of these columns have gone through Alexander's brunt. They've gone through multiple years and centuries of earthquakes, and they still stand over there. I decided to replicate what was created over there and what is left over there in the ruins to get it to India in pristine glory. My daughter's Navjot, which is a thread ceremony for Parsis, was coming up, and I decided to create a set where I would try out working with the artisans and recreate this masterpiece. What followed was amazing. I will share the video with you. Well, this was created just for one night. I wanted this dream, this passion was burning so badly. I wanted to create it on a permanent basis, which was more permanent in nature. And I'd gone through that madness for creating that one set with 300 artisans working for 2 months. I knew I was up for something far more longer. Anything and everything that we could lay our hands on in the original contextual meaning and art form from Persia, from Persepolis, from Susa, from the Achaemenid dynasty, from the Sasanian dynasty. And I didn't want to leave anything that was back in Persia which could be found in the original contextual meaning without letting an artist's impression prevail. Many a times when we are trying to get it back into history and pick up something that was created and done then and recreate it, we end up adding our own 2 bits to it. I wanted to refrain from it. I wanted to only pick up those pieces that we could actually replicate. The scaling was amazing, and when we start working on a large scale, suddenly the lion starts looking like a dog and the dog starts looking like a lion. It's a little difficult to work at that level and scale. You can see the artisans working through 6 floors. So the dies had to be prepared on vertical fascias of the buildings, removed in clay, casted again for putting it finally in GRC. And finally, this is how the building looks now, 4 years down the line, completed last year. This has perhaps been the most difficult and challenging job and the most gratifying job that I have been assigned to so far. The detailing of the building had to come out right. We had to do things, redo things multiple times. The lighting design of this building took me more than 6 months. You put in fixtures, change it, remove it, see how it looks in the evening, see how it looks at night. I want to create a building that people would be awe-inspired, stand and look at it. And which is what happens today. People are just passing off from that lane and they kind of just stop there. That is the Apadana staircase, which is so symbolic of the Persian dynastic empires. As King Shapur, the fight of good versus evil. Every symbolic reference that is there, the coronation, columns, the bull head, the human head, the lion head. Again, very, very symbolic of Persian architecture, the capitals. That's the top part of the building, the pinnacle. That's Takht-e Jamshed, King Jamshed's story. On top is the story of 27 nations that Persia used to rule at one point in time. So, in 334 BC, what Alexander burnt and destroyed, we recreated in 2012 in India, Bombay. Thank you.